Hello, my name is Dr. Rebecca Wara-Goss, and I am the owner and the founder of Eudaemonia Equine Connections, Inc. And Eudaemonia is a unique word. It's a Greek word that stands for the high state of well-being. And it pretty much encapsulates everything that I do in my private practice as a licensed marriage and family therapist, and that I believe in healing as a whole-bodied experience, including mind, body, and spirit. And Eudaemonia has a way of kind of capturing that with the idea that when all three of those faculties are balanced, then you have a nice state of well-being. So I created Eudaemonia Equine Connections primarily to be able to practice equine facilitated psychotherapy treatment with my clients, other than being in private practice in the office, which is usually the traditional setting. I also had created Eudaemonia Equine Connections, Inc. to be a nonprofit, and I would like it to be a broad company that includes not just my private practice, but also holds space for other areas of equine-related mental health that I'm interested in and also feel is important and necessary to include in our field. And those primarily are research. So there are two aspects that I've also included in Eudaemonia Equine Connections, Inc. One is I created and founded an academic journal called Journal of Equines for Mental Health. I started this project about 10 years ago in 2011, so it's been quite some time. There's just been a lot of setbacks and just kind of waiting for the right time to be able to devote to it. And because it will be, whenever it is ready to launch here in the next week or two, we'll devote quite a lot of my time to it, and I want it to be professional and to be able to contribute to scientific literature around research related to humans getting counseling or mental health treatment with a licensed professional, or at least an intern, training to become a licensed professional in the presence of a horse. And so there's more. I have a website that I've created for that you can see is here below on the screen. And this is a place for authors, contributors of research, and budding research that's just been done, and for professional research of people who have been studying aspects of this for a while and would like to be able to be published. This journal is peer-reviewed, meaning that that submissions that pass are what we call our house editing style, which is where if they meet our criteria, with word length, topic is relevant, looks relatively good, then it will be passed on to our peer reviewers. And these are educated professionals in this field and the relevant topic area of study that the author examined, and then they will take a look at it and edit it in terms of the research design, the results, fact-checking, things like that. So depending on the article and the type of research, it might have one peer reviewer or it might have several. And these reviewers are going to be what's called blind reading, where they will not see the name of the researchers initially, but they will understand that, it's done maybe in a certain part of the country, perhaps part of the world. And that's just to try to eliminate bias with names, which can happen sometimes. So that's the journal aspect of that. The other aspect that's related to research that I'm interested in that is part of this new nonprofit is equine-related mental health research focus groups. And the idea with this is to help discuss, create, and potentially implement research related to horses doing in psychotherapy treatment for humans around the world. Wherever people are interested in and they're doing this and they have the ability to try to study this, I would like to study as much as possible and help be able to create and design good scientific inquiry. At least initially start out trying to follow the procedures within psychology research, using scientific methods and things like that, and then test it, see how it goes. And there's so many different ways to design research. And my goals with this are just to help create quality research. And then we don't always know what the results are going to be, and that's okay. But at least initially, being able to start out as clean as we can, and then might have to make changes as research is going. But then definitely by the time the research project is done, that you have your outcome of whatever that was. That's going to be the exciting part because we don't know. But at least beginning, be able to start it out as much as possible so that we've accounted for what we need to in order for, if there was amazing outcome, we could say, great, and of course, eventually, the idea is to be able to have some kind of standardization of care in mental health research. I should say trying to be evidence-based, or at least be able to have some kind of standardization or quality in the research so that the results are met with merit. Because when there's not really good research designs in the beginning, it can set off the research to already be invalidated and to not be taken seriously. And then especially what happens in between the research, while the study is being conducted, how that's being taken accounted for, how the researchers are still making sure that they're following the protocols within their research plan and design, and of course, if any live participants, horses and humans, that there's always ethical treatment of that, and that the participant rights are adhered to at all times. So there's quite a lot of that goes into it, and if you go to my website here, that's linking below, you'll be able to see more about that. So that's the equine-related mental health focus groups, just kind of help consult and work with other professionals, other researchers, horse people. Really want to be interdisciplinary. It does not have to be just mental health people, but at least people that are interested in science and studying the human experience. And in this part, human experience with horses, which are, in my opinion, are great and exciting and fascinating beings that we have the privilege to be able to work with. The other aspect to the equine-related mental health world that I'm also trying to help found and get going and creating is I would like to be able to create a professional membership organization for mental health professionals that work with horses for mental health treatment for their clients. Currently, we really don't have anything like that in the United States. We have quite a really wonderful horse organizations in the U.S. that have been around for decades, for a long time, that have helped to be a place for other equine professionals to come together, equine professionals that work with humans in some kind of treatment capacity, whether it's therapeutic riding, or mental health, recreational riding, or equine-assisted learning. I mean, there's all sorts of different ways that humans may interact with horses. And so there's several really great organizations that have come out to help with that, to have that membership and to help with training, credentialing in some cases, and then in other cases with standardization of care and safety. So two of the biggest ones that we're aware of in the United States that already exist are PATH International, which used to be called NARA, and the other is EGALA, Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association. So both have done amazing work in the United States and internationally in helping to support professionals in a variety of ways. However, with my professional organization, the idea with this is to just narrow it down for mental health professionals, or people that work or are interested in the mental health aspect of healing and treatment in that way. So I haven't come up with a name yet. It could be something like Equine Assisted Mental Health Professionals Association or whatever. So the idea is I would like to create also some kind of focus group around this with other professionals that might be interested in helping to get this going, and who also be kind of excited about it, and then have some kind of membership, fees very minimal in the beginning, and then just see how it goes. And then the goal with this would be to have a collaboration and networking with other mental health professionals who work with horses for treatment for clients, and also to be able to advocate for our needs and for our clients as things come up, or maybe even lobby for things to help with standardization and recognition of this field, and being able to have things in place that demonstrate that this is a newer and unique way of working with humans, bringing horses and an animal into a therapeutic environment, but that if it's done professionally and with respect to all beings involved, like the horse and human and therapist and the helpers and all of that, is that it may help a little more with the legitimacy of this field, and also be able to increase information about it, and knowledge about it, so that it increases accessibility for others who may be interested in participating in equine psychotherapy for themselves or for their loved one, because a lot of people don't know about it or know where to access it. So by lobbying for recognition with insurance companies, for example, people will see that, as a possibility within their insurance benefits, that, oh, hey, this might be available. So there's a lot of, there's some goals in this. So to kind of wrap up what I'm trying to share, is that I just created my nonprofit, Eudaemonia Equine Connections, Inc., and it will be multifaceted with a variety of different projects within it. But I do look forward to this, and I won't be able to do this by myself, so I do look forward to the wonderful people that I've already spoken with and are on board to help with this organization, and also the new people that I would love to meet and to work with and collaborate with all these different ideas, and then most importantly to be able to work with the clients and individuals who may benefit from clinical work with horses. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me below. I look forward to responding to any questions or comments, or if anything else you guys want to add and contribute to this area of interest. Well, take good care. Thank you. Best be.